You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Thank you so much for waking up with us. 6 a.m. on your Monday. Hope you had a nice weekend. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Netta Iranport. It certainly was a beautiful beach-filled weekend for us. At least the sun was amazing. Meteorologist Evan Irani joining us here. Can we get a repeat?
We get a repeat. We get a repeat about Monday through Wednesday, and in some cases, the entirety of the week. It's just that closer to the end of the week and the weekend, temperatures will slide a little bit. We'll get a bit more cloud cover. Fall-like, yes. I mean, for the last couple days, really in particular, yesterday, we were several degrees warmer than normal, especially across a lot of our inland valleys. Today is going to follow in that same pattern. You got upper 70s at the coast, mid-80s inland. A couple spots like El Cajon and Ramona could make it above 85, closer to 86 and 87. The mountains are going for the upper 70s and the deserts, the upper 80s. Back to you.
Looks great. Thank you so much, Evan. And right now, nearly 2,400 Kaiser mental health workers around Southern California, including San Diego, are on strike.
CBS 8's Regina Yarita is live at one of the picket lines in Kearney Mesa here. Regina?
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Netta. And the picketing is supposed to start right now at 6 a.m. We're actually seeing people already setting up, ready to picket. This is their first day striking, so there's going to be several people walking off the job. You know, I talked to one medical worker earlier this morning. You could really feel the frustration, talking about the burnout. You know, I asked them, was this well before COVID? And they say, yes, they felt that burnout well before COVID. Now, those who are planning to strike are psychologists, social workers, psychiatric nurses, addiction medicine counselors, and many other therapists. Their contract expired on September 30th, and since then, no agreement has been reached during the recent bargaining sessions. Some of their demands are better pay. Workers are seeking 7 hours per week for patient care duties that can't be done during therapy sessions. They're also asking executives to improve staffing levels and reduce turnover that disrupts patient care. And they want Kaiser to include pensions after executives eliminated them. Meanwhile, executives say today's strike is unnecessary. Their concern is on patient care. In a written statement, if we can pull up that full screen, Kaiser executives say they believe the union isn't calling for more time to care for patients. It is demanding more money for therapists to spend less time seeing patients. A key issue is how much time the union wants to take therapists away from direct patient care. The union is proposing that full-time therapists increase the amount of time they're not seeing patients to nearly half of their time, at least 19 hours a week. So back out here, another concern is the patient care during this strike. Kaiser did say that they have made arrangements, but they've also will be contacting patients who have appointments today. They will still get their patient care, but of course they will meet their needs to accommodate them during this strike. That's latest here outside of Kaiser Permanente. I'll send things back to you guys.
Regina, thank you. This morning, a court hearing is set for the conditional release of a sexually violent predator. State hospital officials are trying to find a property to place 67-year-old Merle Wade Wakefield. He was convicted of sex crimes back in 1981 and 1990. He was going to be placed in Poway, but that decision was reversed in July after residents rallied against the move. The hearing is at 9 a.m. at the Central Courthouse. Now to important information for families here. In a few hours, the San Diego Unified School Board will be meeting for a special session to discuss a projected $176 million budget gap.
Yeah, how are they going to work with such a big gap? This meeting will be open to the public. CBS 8's Chris Grow live in Old Town, where the meeting will be held. Chris, what are the details of this?
And look, this is a San Diego Unified School Board that operates on about $1 billion budget here. In fact, when you crunch the numbers, it is pretty startling to see that deficit between both the funding and, of course, the expenses. And this is broken down in the meeting agenda that will be taking part of this. It sort of, again, looks like your everyday home budget. You'll see right there the funding for this upcoming fiscal year, a little bit more than $1 billion, but the expenses totaling somewhere around $1.18 billion, meaning you have that $176 million deficit. Now, as for some of the reasons that are being cited for this deficit, declining enrollment, reduction in funding, specifically COVID-19 federal dollars, and increased student need. Now, we heard about, of course, the decrease in COVID funding, because that was something that was scheduled to run out here as we exited the pandemic. We know that a lot of school districts are juggling how it is that with that funding that they had, how they are going to try to change things to make sure that they do not have that deficit. That is something that will be discussed today. Of course, trying to, as they say, the purpose of the meeting is to provide an overview and to discuss potential solutions to address that budget gap. This is going to be an informational meeting. There will be no voting, no decisions that will be made. But of course, it will be one that will be taking place here in Old Town at noon. And of course, any ideas or anything that is proposed here will be part of our coverage, and we'll continue that here as we move forward in the day. Eric and Netta.
Chris Grow with the latest there. Chris, thank you. Today, workers are expected to start tearing down burned out buildings at the end of the Oceanside Pier. They will start dismantling what remains of the old Ruby's Diner and the brine box next to it. This after a fire broke out at the end of the pier back in April. Demolition will likely last several weeks. The city of Oceanside hopes to repair the burned out sections eventually, but they've not given a timeline yet. The city hopes to keep most of the pier open during construction.
And now a traffic alert to let you know about. Right now, the southbound I-5 on-ramp at Palomar Airport Road is closed. It will remain closed until tomorrow morning. So Caltrans and Sandak crews thought they'd have the work complete by today, but they are extending that closure until tomorrow at 5 a.m. The closure is for crews to complete realignment work for future bike and pedestrian improvements. If you are in the area, drive with caution. There'll be crew members out there, and follow those posted construction signs. And today is the last day to register for the November 5th election. If you miss the deadline, you can still conditionally register and vote starting tomorrow. So to do that, visit the registrar's office or any vote center through Election Day. And then Saturday, select vote centers and the registrar's office will open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You have a lot of options to make sure you get it done. Then November 2nd, all vote centers open. And that brings us to Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th. That's the last day to vote in person or by mail. So you can do it now.
Here.
You don't have to wait till that election day.
That's right.
Every time I get an update, watching the news usually, and I hear like, 2 weeks until election, I'm always like, it feels like it's flying by. And then I remember like Halloween's getting very close. And election day is next week. So.
Right. We got the costume all figured out, and we're just hoping the weather's going to cooperate.
That's the big question, right? So we're starting to kind of see some foreshadowing because we're pretty close now at this point. We're about 10 days out from Halloween. It does look like as we get into next week, those temperatures are going to slide more substantially. Keep in mind, this is on the heels of a warm weekend, 5 to 10 degrees warmer than average across many of our inland valleys, including for this afternoon. Closer to that 5-degree marker, I'd say, which keeps things comfortable. A lot of sunshine out there in the forecast for the afternoon. Right now, of course, we're shy of sunrise by about 40 minutes, so it's going to take a little time for some of that light to peek through, but it's not going to be a gray start. Instead, offshore winds have helped to push those clouds off the shore, and we will be left with a lot of sunshine as the afternoon comes about. When we look at the live look outside, it's pretty clear outside. Temperatures are mostly in the upper 50s right now. Winds are calm. We're going to be watching for these temperatures to really begin a more substantial warm-up after sunrise, closer to 7, 8, 9 a.m. Over the course of the weekend out at Brownfield, you can see how those temperatures started to climb day over day. Friday, we made it to 74 degrees at Brownfield, 81 on Saturday, and then 86 on Sunday. We're going to be in a very similar range this afternoon in Santee and El Cajon at 86, Mira Mesa at 82, PB going for a high of 73 this afternoon. You could call today a beach day. I mean, depending on how ready you are to get in that rather cold water out there is a different situation. 68 in Encinitas in the morning hours. A sweater might come in handy. And then by the afternoon, you should be able to start to peel off those layers, especially if you're out east in Escondido and Poway, for example, at 83 degrees. If you're looking at the 10-day forecast, like I mentioned, 10 days out from now, so closer to Halloween, those temperatures are finally going to be in that more average range, if not cooler than average, by the time we get to the beginning of next week. Let's check in on traffic. It's 6:09 right now. There has been nothing to mention. It's been a very, very quiet map here as we kick off your Monday morning. Earlier, we had a stalled vehicle that was on the 8 at Main Street in El Cajon. That has now been cleared. So you're back to, again, this, which is completely clear conditions on the roads. Let's take a look at your border wait times. 105-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. Otay Mesa Port of Entry is going to take you 60 minutes, so a little bit quicker, about an hour in total.